Right. There we go. Thursday live. Support call that I'm going to be doing every Tuesday and Thursdays now at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific. And today's topic again is around staying excited. Our most important task is to trust in what's happening right now and keep our frequency high. And you may hear a lot of people talk about this, or you may hear me talk about it, because it's one of the main components to attracting and manifesting, or as I like to say, magnetizing our reality, our desired reality towards us. And so I'm going to be doing these calls to provide support and to just I'm just reminding Jeff, every day, hey, where's your frequency right now? What are you focusing on? What are you attracting and magnetizing into your quantum field hologram that we call our life, with our thoughts and our words, and then the emotion that we put behind those. And so this is really, really key. And I don't know about anybody else. It seems like in my feed, people are awake and they're excited, and they can tell that things are being exposed on a greater level now than any other time in history. And we came here for this. And yeah, it can be challenging and it can be sticky and people can lash out, and there can be, family members and friends that don't understand us. And, these things are coming up. So again, super, super key to hold our frequency. And so, what is the greatest, fastest, and easiest way to manifest that which we want to which we desire to experience in our life? And I like to explain it in timelines, as we've got the lower vibrational timelines, which are, we speak about in terms of being in the 3D matrix. And then many people speak about the higher vibrating dimensional timelines of 5D and beyond. So if we think about it in terms of frequency, it's really easy to begin to see whether we are consciously choosing to magnetize and attract that which we really desire into our reality, into our vibrating quantum field. Because one of the greatest questions we can ask ourselves, first of all, let's look at what would be, let me pull up my page here in case there's any comments. If anybody has any comments or questions, you're welcome to post them into the feed here. I can now see them. And we'll be able to get to some of this stuff. Let me pull up my page here in case there's any comments. Okay, there's a little bit of delay there. So, okay, so let me get back to my screen. Okay, so let's look at the things that are keeping us stuck in repeating cycles in the 3D matrix, and why the media and the advertising and the movies and people, corporations that make low vibrational food, things that are toxic, drinks, vaccines, things like this. Let's look at that. And let's look at it without being triggered. Let's just look at it as an excited, conscious observer. As a really great question to ask when we see something, or we want to have a judgment about something, is, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Because isn't that interesting opens up a space of curiosity where there's no belief, there's no resistant energy, there's no judgment. And that way, all the downloadable necessary information, when we're open-minded, can come in and give us some really great aha moments. And also, it's not attracting and magnetizing more of anything that we're in resistance to. So many of you may have heard me say that I was taught to be a judgeaholic. I was tossed into Catholic schools starting in 2nd grade, little private schools where you had to wear the bow tie and the what do they call it? The clothing, the uniform. We had to wear a uniform. And I was around really angry nuns every day. And even in 2nd grade, I didn't know the first thing about conscious awareness, but I knew that something was wrong, frequency-wise, because there was nothing but judgment and anger. And that was the whole energy of the whole Catholic school system. And I was involved in that, and I was even an altar boy until 9th grade. So I saw a lot of things in the church, in religion, about giving your power away to something outside of you. So if we want to step out of the 3D matrix, repeating timelines, we have to understand, and we have to be able to see the programs that we run. Hey, Tim, great to see you, brother. Love you. If you have any questions, ask away, and we can do some mirroring and hopefully open up some aha moments, or at least give people some peace that right now is the greatest time in recorded history, and we came here for this. So excitement is one of the highest frequencies. Excitement, love, gratitude, generosity, compassion, kindness, joy. So back to the frequencies that keep us stuck in 3D, that will not allow us to be in a 5D environment, because these frequencies simply do not exist there. Because our bodies are lighter, the frequencies are higher. So here they are. We can't have judgment. We can't be carrying anger. We can't be carrying resentment towards other people. We have to clear and forgive every single person that we feel that's done anything to us wrong, whether it's our parents, our grandparents, the media, the governments, the corporations. Hey, Claire, great to see you. We've got to clear this stuff. And my last 2 calls with clients yesterday were all about stuff that was coming up around anger and lack of forgiveness, or trying to forgive, but there's another person, and a lot of times it's a family member, that is so triggered. And when we pull back and we just observe, because we're no longer reacting to them, we're taking away their food. And so what happens in a lot of cases, is they get triggered. Hey, Daryl, great to see you. They get triggered and they ramp up their attacks, because that's kind of what they feed on. And they haven't learned to go in and heal and clear, and to be able to consciously communicate with anyone that they might have. If there's an echo, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. It's sounding fine here. So bear with it. So the key is, where are we holding our frequency in each moment? This is it. This is the whole entire game moving forward. And you're seeing people out there in the world that are getting highly triggered. There's a huge divide, and they're lashing out. And they don't understand that everything out there is a mirror. It's a hologram to what we're holding inside. And so, yeah. And Tim says we have to forgive ourselves first and foremost. Yeah. Forgiveness begins first and foremost with ourselves, because we're the ones holding the frequency. And I was on a call with a woman yesterday, and she had told me how much inner work she's done and how much she goes to the gym 3 times a week. And, she's lost an incredible amount of weight. And yet she's still judging herself every single day. It's just not enough. No matter what she does is not enough, because her father used to talk down to her and call her really horrible names. And, these programs are deep. So we've got to be able to go in and see the root program. This skin suit does not determine our value. It's just temporary, you know, and this is something Jeff has to deal with too. I go in and look in the mirror, you know, and I go, oh, you're getting gray hair, or you don't like these glasses, or, you know, whatever it is. But I do mirror work every day, and everybody that journeys with me that goes on a 30 or 60-day journey, it's part of the process. Because guess why? Because it's the one thing that most people shy away from, and it's exactly the doorway to go in and clear and heal yourself, so you will begin to attract and hold that loving frequency of feeling really good about yourself. And it's not from the ego at all. Yeah, Clara says, let's heal together. Yeah, we're doing it all together. So surround yourself with people that will love on you in a non-judgmental and safe space. So that's what I love to do on these calls, and that's what I do when I journey with people. I've been trained to be able to see the programs that are running. And we're all running programs. I mean, even if we're running a program that's love and high vibrational frequency, it's still a program, but we're consciously choosing to do it because it comes from the heart and it's high vibrational. So that's what we're going to attract in situations, in relationships, in abundance, what we're going to manifest into our lives. And so, again, the invitation is a really great question to ask is, do I have anybody to forgive? And just see what comes up. Super simple. You know, what happened during your childhood? Do you love your parents? And most people go, yeah, I love my parents, but you know, here's the key. Here's a real big key that really works. When you get to the point to where you can thank somebody for playing their role, because it was a pre-chosen role on our soul's contract. You know, everything was agreed to before we came down here. So the people that trigger us are actually giving us the biggest gifts. They're our greatest teachers. Now, before anybody out there, you know, gets really triggered or upset, I'm not saying in any way that if somebody physically abused you or assaulted you or did some of the really horrible things that have happened to me and that happen to clients that I work with, I'm not suggesting that you thank them right away. The ego's not going to like that. I understand. I'm talking about our parents, people we grew up with, people that trigger us. You'll know that you've forgiven them, which means when you think of them now, your energy is at a 0 point. There's no trigger any longer. And you can just go, wow, that was tough at the time, but I learned something. And the most challenging things that happen to us when we accept responsibility and we find the gift, that gives us the ability to mirror and hold space for other people and give them a hand up. And there's going to be a lot of people right now that need a hand up. There's going to be a lot of people very soon as more and more of this stuff gets exposed. And it's getting exposed for anybody that's paying attention. And people are going to be shocked. And here's why. And this is one of the reasons why, and this is really important. If you get this, and I'm not saying that anybody else out there doesn't get it, I have to start somewhere. But this was huge for me on my awakening journey. If you cannot see how your belief system operates, you will be a prisoner to it forever. So let me explain that. When I met one of my main mentors, Don Miguel Ruiz, in 2001, one of the greatest aha moments I had was when he got me to look at my belief system. And he had me journal some stuff out and write some stuff down through this process. And I realized none of my beliefs are even mine. Gotta hit the gong on that one. None of my beliefs were even mine. They all came from outside myself. They were all given to me. We come into this world out of the womb as a child with eyes that are just filled with magic and wonder and infinite everything. We are the infinite. That's our true natural state. And then we start taking on the beliefs of our parents, our grandparents, if we have them, the school system, which is heavy programming, where they teach us what to think instead of how to think. And so this is so key to realize that. Let's look at what triggers are and why people judge and why they get triggered. This is really powerful. We take on a belief system. The ego, in the beginning, its job is to protect us. That's probably 1,000 or more year old program. They call it the reptilian brain. I don't really like that term, but maybe I do. Maybe I can start to love it. I was taught that reptilians were bad. Well, I'm sure we all have that in our DNA. So what I've trained myself to do is to not be in resistance to anything. So as I felt that word reptilian and I felt it felt a little sticky to me, I just brought it into the light to show that, okay, our words have frequencies and they contain energy that we're holding. So back to the belief system. We take on a belief system. Look at everybody that's getting triggered right now. The big thing in the United States, I'm not currently there, but I've been observing it. And the media knows how to set everybody up. It's Republican against Democrat. And right now, people are like either loving the president or they're hating. I've never seen anything like it. And it's only because of the media. Only, plain and simple. And if people haven't figured out that the media is owned by the dark ones currently, I don't know what to tell you, but the wake-up calls are coming. So anyway, that's a whole nother topic, and it's not really something that's positive to dive into. That's all being revealed right now. So the belief system. So you got to be able to see a program in order to dismantle it. I was a judgeaholic. It's why I wrote a whole chapter. I got a new software, so I don't know where the camera is. I wrote a whole chapter in the book, Waking Up in the Dream, on judgment, because I was a judgeaholic. And the reason why I was a judgeaholic, even though I was a good kid, I thought that that's how we fix things. I thought we'd point out everything that's wrong out there. So I was pointing out everything that was wrong out there that triggered me. Well, guess what? Everything that we focus on with our thoughts and our words, that's vibration. It's a magnet. So every word, every thought, and the emotion that we put behind it is a magnet. So guess what? Everything we judge, everything that triggers us, we're magnetizing more of it to us. It's like a big freaking magnet. We're holding it up. But the ego doesn't recognize that. See, what it does is, hey, Claire, I'm glad this is resonating with you because it's changed my life. And this is a big part of the journey, the unraveling that I take people through when I work with them one-on-one each month. So if anybody's interested in that, I work with only 4 or 5 people each month. And we go back and forth almost every single day like this. So if you would benefit from mirroring like this and going through all the processes in the book and the PowerPoint trainings, you will see programs that you've never seen before. I'm working with people and the people don't come to me that aren't already awake. You don't come and do this work unless you're ready to do the finishing work, you know? And they're like, I thought I was awake, and I'm still around all these programs. And it's like, it's such a joy because we can actually go in and heal things. And yeah, we may cry on a call, and we may have to release some anger. And I share tools with people from that. Hey, Jennifer, Tennessee, that's where my family is right now. So the point is, you can actually make the awakening process fun if you get curious. Now, the ego in the beginning, it doesn't want to be curious. It wants to be triggered, and it wants to be justified. And those are heavy magnetic energies that attract more of everything it judges and everything that triggers it. So you've got to be able to see that. So again, the belief system. Why is it so important? Like the most important thing on our awakening journey right now, guaranteed, is identifying the belief system and how it works and how we dismantle it, you know? So we take on a belief system when we're children, and then if anything comes in that challenges our belief system, the ego automatically reacts because it gets threatened. So it turns into a judgment or a trigger, and you see this everywhere in life and relationships with people that don't know how to consciously have a conscious conversation. And this is so key in relationships, because anytime that we get triggered or we have a judgment and we project that energy onto somebody else, what are they going to do? They're going to go like that because they can feel the energy. It's like an attack, and it's invisible, but they can feel it. So it's really, really clear to identify what are our triggers. And this all comes down to the topic of this is our most important invitation right now is to identify and clear anything that is keeping us in 3D repeating timelines. And the reason they're repeating is because every judgment and every trigger and everything that we don't heal, meaning every person that we don't forgive, we're holding that energy. It's not the person that did something to us 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. We're holding the frequency. And frequencies don't lie. That's the beautiful thing that's built into the soul journey. And it can be frustrating too, because you can be a guy like me that spent over $100,000 buying every spiritual book, all the top ones, you know what they are, going to all these seminars, doing two-handed tapping, money comes to me easily and effortlessly, you know, all the things around money. And I never generated money up until the last couple of years, because I grew up around heavy programming, around lack and fear around money. It was in my family. It was in the Catholic Church. It's the trap they use. And so it wasn't until I went in and really identified what was my belief, what were my triggers, what was the program, what was my self-talk. Talking about it's hard to make money. I mean, when you say that, you're creating your reality. So we've got to begin to create our realities. And I have you hear me talk about this on my lives if you've seen them. And there's a bunch of them on my YouTube channel. It's Portal to Awakening, youtube.com, Portal to Awakening. It talks about the whole process of creating your reality starting first thing in the morning. Because you want to start with a clear mind while you're still laying in bed on the pillow. Because the minute you step foot out of bed or you let the mind run, you've got 50 to 80,000 thoughts that are just going to keep running the same 3D program over and over and over again. And it's going to be difficult unless you install the tools to consciously come back to awareness. And I talk about people setting alarms, 15 of them on their phone, every hour to go off every day. Just to remind yourself, where's your frequency right now? Are you excited? Are you seeing what you desire is already here, not in the future? You don't hope, you don't try, you don't wish. Those are weak words. They really are. Because the subconscious only knows how to take direct orders. So if you go, I am in the future, I'm working on making money, I'm trying, the subconscious goes, well, he's trying, it's not here yet. And this is the key. This was not in the movie The Secret, which was a really good opening movie. There's a lot of good stuff in there. I gave away about 12 DVDs for Christmas that year. But it doesn't tell you the most important thing. You have to see it as here now. And that's the trick of the ego. And you just have to bypass it and go, okay, ego, I know what you do. And you can just go sit in the corner. Because when I create my day every morning and throughout the day, here's the greatest thing that shifted everything for me, for magnetizing money, abundance, health, incredible people, incredible relationships, incredible clients that reach out to me almost every day of the week. And I don't say that with an ego. I'm sharing this with you guys because it works. And I was so frustrated for so many years. I was suicidal. Yeah, I've been there. I've been to the edge, you know, and I was like, if it's going to be this painful for the rest of my life, after all the stuff I've tried, then I don't want to be here. And, you know, luckily I didn't check out because I didn't want to hurt the people that love me. It's really the only reason I didn't check out, in all honesty, because I wanted to go. And then I met some teachers and I just went, Okay, show me, show me. That's powerful to ask the universe, show me, and then get real quiet. So again, the belief system. Understanding that your belief system keeps you trapped in 3D. Now you could say, if you've done a lot of work on the spiritual path, you could say, well, Jeff, my belief is I'm a sovereign divine being. I only choose love, and abundance just floods into my, and I'm like, okay, right on, I agree with that. I'm talking about for the people that haven't seen the program of how the belief system works. Because check this out. Anything that comes in to challenge the belief system triggers the ego until you train yourself to see, to catch a trigger. And you can feel a trigger. You train yourself to feel every judgment. And then you stop. And you take a breath. Because if you don't stop, the ego wants to run the story of why that's wrong. And they always do this. And yeah, and everybody's always doing this. And it just runs. And you hear some people say, I'm having a really bad day. Let's break that down. Usually, they're not having a really bad day. Usually what happened is they had one trigger and they didn't know how to stop it. So the ego just ran it all day long and fed on it like a Pac-Man, like it does. And now, 1 hour later, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, they're still triggered by that one little thing that they didn't catch that either triggered a wound or triggered their belief system. So this is really, really key to begin to undo a trigger, see what a trigger is, and know how to dismantle it. And that's what this shows you how to do. And all my videos are free on Portal to Awakening YouTube channel. The book's half price right now. For anybody that wants to download it, I'll pop a link in here. And yeah. So the belief system. Every belief, if we're really committed to holding on to it, except for the ones like love is always the answer, and I am a sovereign, unlimited divine being, all the other beliefs block infinite possibilities from coming in because we really know very, very little. We want to think that we're smart and that we've done a lot of work and we're awake, but really we're still in nursery school. We really are. I mean, and that's okay, because as long as we are still waking up and being curious and being conscious observers and being playful, those are really high frequencies. But if we allow our belief system to trap us, then we're not going to grow and we're not going to step out of 3D. We've got to be able to dismantle the belief system and catch a trigger. And that's what I have everybody do in the book. You start tracking every judgment, every trigger, every fear-based thought, every shameful thought. And you do the mirror work. You end up loving yourself. You train yourself. You be ruthless with your self-love. Because if you're not, don't ever expect somebody in another relationship to love you more than you love yourself. They might in the beginning, but the soul's journey doesn't work that way. You can't hang on to somebody if you don't love yourself enough. You can't attract the person that you really want to attract if you haven't done your own inner healing and clearing. So it's really, really key. So again, let's ask ourselves, let's take a quick second and ask ourselves, is there anybody that I still need to forgive? And just feel into that. You'll know. You'll know if you're still pissed at your sister or your best friend from second grade or your father or your mother, even if they're not still alive here. You know, I got beat a lot with wooden sticks and stuff. I got taken into the garage. That's what my grandfather and my stepfathers, that's what they learned to do, you know? So, you know, I don't want to hold on to any of that stuff. I will not hold on to any of it because that's keeping me stuck in 3D. So intend that you find this valuable. Let me see if there's any questions here. I know Tim posted something good. Let me see if this will show. Okay, cool. I love this new software. I've been working on this idea. For every lesson you need to learn, there's a counteraction that needs to be practiced. You need to learn compassion, and you need to practice being of service. Practice of leadership, love, practice of leadership, and judgment. Yeah, awesome, brother. You're doing it. Tim journeyed through the Waking Up in the Dream course, and he's a really amazing guy to reach out and friend. He's the real deal. He's got a heart of gold, and he's done his inner work. And if you could hear his story, maybe I'll have him on sometime. He was, well, I don't want to compare him to me because we can't really compare each other, but yeah, he had some wounded programs running, and just like I did, big time. And a lot of us do. It's the journey. And those are our biggest gifts so that we can hold those frequencies for other people. And again, a lot of people are going to need a lot of assistance very soon when they realize that almost everything they've been taught was a lie. And that's a big shocker. And you're going to see a lot of people might not want to admit that. And I don't know what's going to happen, whether they might leave the planet, they might just stay in 3D. But I know that the Earth is splitting right now. And we've got a choice to step into this new Earth paradigm that has been prophesied for thousands of years. And anybody that's paying attention, even if you're not 100% sure of how it's going to play out, because who is? We're constantly creating these timelines individually and collectively. So our invitation right now, our most important task is, stay excited. Align with like-minded people. Do the inner work. It's not that difficult to heal stuff. People put it off for decades. People come to me that have been holding on to this stuff for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decades. And after a week or two, sometimes even on one call, we'll clear something that they've been holding on to that long. And they just don't see that the ego's holding on to this program. It's just a defense mechanism. The little child that got wounded doesn't really want us to go there because it put up this big protection mechanism. But what it really wants is to feel safe and to be free. So when we just dive into that in a safe environment, in a non-judgmental space, and we mirror through it, it clears. It's that simple. You know, labeling it the dark night of the soul, nobody wants to go there. I don't call it the dark night of the soul. I call it the doorway, the magical doorway into your freedom of everything you've ever wanted. And it's just waiting for us. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of the inner excavation. And surrounding your, if you don't know how to do it yourself, then surround yourself with people that'll just hold the space. That's all it really is. Feeling safe, and that little child just wants to be loved, and it wants to come out and play. And our job, I don't use the word J-O-D. See, I caught that. Words have frequency, and they cast spells. Our invitation on this journey is to get back to being excited like a little child every day. Wake up out of the sleeping dream, create your day, get excited. Today's going to be incredible. Today I'm going to connect with incredible people all over the world through this plastic little box that's not even plugged into the wall. And it's going through thin air, and I'm connecting with people all over the world on this social media platform. And how incredible is that? Then guess what? When I'm excited like that, guess what I'm going to magnetize into my reality? More of that, more abundance, more money, more health. All my cells are vibrating at a high rate. Every morning I wake up and I give love to every one of these cells, the trillions of cells that have been loving on me since I've been in the womb. They've been unconditionally serving us. I mean, that's where I start every morning, in gratitude. And then my frequency is high. I'm smiling. Why am I smiling? Because I know that this works, because I do this process every single morning, and I teach it to everybody that I journey with. And then they go, holy smoke, it works. And it works. It really does. And so let's get playful. Let's get excited. And if there's anything to clear, let's clear it. I'm going to be doing these lives. Let me see if there's a new question. Okay, I'm going to be doing these lives. I'm going to do my best to do them. Okay, it's my Thursday morning. and I'm in the future. I'm in Thailand. It's 10 a.m. So it's 10 p.m. on Wednesday. So I'm going to do, I need to get this right. I'm going to do Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific. Mondays and Wednesdays. So if you want to tune in, you want to bring your questions, you want to have an opportunity to do some mirroring, you know, to me, this is next to playing music and doing art and being in nature, this is the coolest thing. Conscious conversations where we feel good, we move through stuff, and we raise our vibration. This is where we're headed. This is what we're doing. This is what we're actually creating, the new 5D New Earth paradigm right now. Hey, Claire, it's 3 a.m. in Ireland where she's at, and she's rocking this call. Thank you for bringing your energy to the call. I appreciate it. So yeah, this is what we're doing. So if anybody's got any questions, you know, come and join us on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. And if there's anybody that wants to do the monthly journeying, here's the link. 30 to 60 days, depending on what you decide. And I'm happy to get on a call with you to discuss whether it's a good match for either one of us, you know, because that's really key, because we're going to be working together on this every single day. And I'll tell you what, it's the most life-changing journey I've ever done. So there's a link down in there for anybody that's interested. And there's the book link, half price right now for anybody that wants to instant download it. And, you know, just be gentle and be loving with yourselves. You know, that's the key. Align yourself with like-minded people and begin to have fun. Hey, Desley, great to see you from Australia. See, people are tuning in from all over the place, and we're all here together. Right now, there's 15 to 20-something people. Hey, Maya, great to see you. Thank you for your input. Every little bit is just an extra little energy that we're all feeling. And this is how we create and amplify these frequencies. And there is so much incredible energy coming in that Mother Earth, there's so much assistance right now that we can't see. Don't ever think you're alone. It's such an incredibly exciting time right now. So yeah, sending everybody love. There's my camera. Everything's reversed to me. There's a really cool little organ. And I just got, it's amazing. It's got a crystal on the top. And I'm retarded, so I can't balance it because everything's backwards. Okay, anyway. Thank you to everybody that shares these transmissions and that shows up. And really appreciate it, because this could be one message that completely, you know, keeps somebody from going off the deep end that doesn't have anybody to talk to and they're feeling down and nobody's awake where they live. I mean, I know a lot of people like that reach out. So thank you to everybody that shares this. Happy full moon. Yeah, it's a super exciting time. And excitement is our greatest magnet. It pulls in abundance. It pulls in all that we desire. It's one of the highest frequencies. So get excited. And if you're not getting excited, then you're running a program that's 3D. Just be gentle with yourself and figure out what it is. Go in and forgive every single person. That's number one. Can't move into 5D until we heal and clear and forgive everybody, including ourselves. So that's it. If anybody needs any help, then reach out. And again, thanks everybody. It's an absolute joy to connect. And I'll be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, be good to yourself. Stay excited. What an incredible time. I mean, come on. We're rocking this dream. Hey, Henry, great to see you, brother. Yep. Let go and flow. Get excited. Find something to be grateful for. If you can't find anything, if your ego doesn't want to find anything because you're feeling challenged or stressed, close your eyes and go, right now, there's 30 trillion, give or take a few, cells that are loving on me unconditionally in every moment. They're purifying my blood. They're doing all these incredible things without me having to even think about it. I mean, come on. If that doesn't pump you up, check your pulse. Take a couple more breaths and get excited. And reach out to somebody that's excited, that'll mirror you, that'll lift you up. We're here to give everybody a hand up right now. That's it. No judgment. Make everybody feel safe. Be compassionate for the ones that are going to get shocked into waking up. Because the sooner we do that, the sooner we're all in 5D, which is the goal. Remember, here's something my teacher told me that's really important. Everybody is you. Everybody's you. So even the pedophiles, forgive them. We don't want to be holding any judgment or negativity. So, got to run. Have an incredible day or evening wherever you're at. Much love.